Nations, are fraught with all sorts of problems on a serious note. It's not about who to invite, who not to invite, the people to be seen or not be seen with, but it's appeasing many other people. And none more so now than in the 21st century. When you look back to 1953, times were a little different. People are a lot more deferential. They didn't necessarily come out in droves with their opinion. First of all, they didn't have social media, and the newspapers ruled. The press barons dictated exactly what they thought the British public, and indeed the Commonwealth, should think. And most of the time, most people agreed, because after all, these were the people in power. But in the 21st century, what we're finding is that this particular coronation has its own opinions, and that is problematic for this forthcoming coronation on May the 6th of King Charles III. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Nice to see you as ever. Hope you're keeping well. Yes, as I say on that particular intro, difficult times really for King Charles, because as we saw at that recent Easter service, a lot of people were picking bones about the fact that he was walking alongside, some might say, his disgraced younger brother, Prince Andrew, the Duke of York. Of course, he's entitled to do that. It's his brother. He can invite who he wishes to that Easter service. But normally when you look back at tradition, particularly over the last 70 years, it's all new to us. We're all trying to get used to what the new king could or could not be planning. One thing that has spectacularly backfired, though, for His Majesty the King is the repatriation idea, the one that was stemmed from the little red Guardian newspaper. This really is all about King Charles looking into the royal family to see exactly their links to slavery and what could be done about it. The British public have basically said, nothing, move on, we're not paying for any more. Anything like that would have to come out of the royal purse. Would it though? That is now the bigger worry. And also when you think about it with King Charles, he's kind of, we're told, and as ever we have to say allegedly, decided to do this. At the coronation, normally it's simply all about being the defender of the Christian faith. After all, even though many of us forget at times, we are a Christian country. Now, according to insiders, it looks like King Charles could be adhering to the fact that certain elements of the Quran and Arabic, and amongst other things. This, again, has not gone down well, because it's the bottom line. Most of the supporters of the monarchy are for a certain age, and it does appear that the king might be, shall we say, kowtowing down to the Karate brigade, and I use that term loosely. The younger people that are offended by everything, that want everything to be inclusive. There are certain things in life that can't be inclusive. And if King Charles really does want to make sure he gets off onto a level footing, not to change things too much. It's interesting to note also, isn't it, that the Archbishop of Canterbury has recently come out to admit publicly that he's taking antidepressant tablets because of his anxiety and his ongoing depression. Some might say, well, that's, a move forward. He's sharing and caring. Others might think we don't necessarily need to know all of your mental health problems, whatever are going on. The public look to people in public figures at least, for their support. You're not allowed to have these problems. We are. And as for King Charles, as I say, trying to be very inclusive, he's finding, a little bit like Prince William with the recent signing for his Earthshot charity, you have to be very careful, because the public can turn very, very quickly. And this is just the start of the reign of King Charles. As ever, there's time to amend, move forward and appease the great masses that do pay for the monarchy. As ever, I speak as an impartial and want to know your opinion. What do you think to this particular story? Do you think he should be allowed to say exactly what he wishes? Or indeed, should he really adhere to the people that basically are his paymasters? As ever, I'd love to know what you think in this particular story in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.